Paul and Karenni from 90 Day Fiancé just got some really bad news. Oh my god, they are in a completely horrible situation. Here is the deal. I don't want to waste any time for y'all amazing people. Paul and Karenni, if you don't know, has been pregnant for what seems like it's been like 2 years. I feel like she's been pregnant for like the longest time. Apparently, we are, reaching the 9-month period or whatever, and she's getting ready to have the baby. But here's the bad news. Paul shared on his social media yesterday that they are not going to be able to get like a hospital room and even have the baby in a hospital because of all the craziness in the pandemic and everything. So he said that they either have to have an apartment birth or they're going to try and get on a rush flight or something over to America so she can have the baby here. However, as far as I'm aware, the borders are completely closed. And there's even kind of more odd crap to this situation, but here is the scoop. This is what Paul said. Number one, he shared that right there, saying Karenni's doctor just told us private and public hospitals have no availability because of the pandemic. So if that's true, I guess it's an apartment birth or back to the US as quickly as possible. But here's where it gets interesting. I don't know if you guys remember, but Karenni did make an OnlyFans account, which is just kind of weird timing, but you know what? I'm gonna stop judging that. They can do whatever they want to do. But she made an account, and I did. It was free. I was curious. I did join it, and I didn't pay a cent, but I did see. So I wanted to see what was going on because I heard all these rumors that Paul was gonna be on it and this and that, and I went on it. It was kind of weird. It was bizarre, but anyway, there was a little segment on it where they were like raising money or something, and it was like $6,000. I can't remember the exact amount, but I think it was like $6,000 to, I guess, basically be able to afford like a private hospital bedroom, and they were trying to raise money, and I don't know if she was going to like give stuff in return, like a picture or something. I don't even know, but that is what that said, and I go, gosh, that is kind of strange. And then it got even weirder because immediately after, Paul did share, this right there, saying, we do not need any money. We have enough to pay for the private birth out of pocket up front. If anyone knows a hospital in the area she can have the baby at, let us know. Right now, we are not finding any hospitals with availability because of converted into, rooms for the pandemic. I was actually turned away at the ER at the private hospital recently after offering to pay to be seen. Hospitals here are very different right now. Everything is focused with the pandemic. So what in God's name is going on? Is it, it's weird to me because, like last week, it was literally probably last week, I saw on her account that it said they were trying to I don't even know, sell stuff or something, pictures or something to get money for a private, hospital birth. So it's like, okay, 1 second, like days apart, 1 second she's saying that, that they need the money for this, and the next second Paul is coming out saying that they have the money and they don't need it, and it's like, what is going on? So is this true? What is going on? What is going to happen? Either way, I feel like they have god-awful news because no one, for the most part, wants to have a baby in an apartment, and number two, it's like, geez, I don't think they can come to America, so I feel like their only possible, option at this point is they have to have the baby in an apartment. Now, I don't know. They did somehow make it to Brazil during all this craziness, so maybe they can go back to America. They are American citizens. It seems kind of odd, seems kind of impossible. Maybe there's more to the laws that I'm not seeing up front, but it definitely seems very bizarre. But comment below what y'all think on that. Just a very odd, bizarre situation. Definitely make sure to comment below. And before I go into the rest of the 90 Day Fiancé topics for today, y'all, please, it'd mean the world to me if you are new to this channel. Please hit that subscribe button, hit the follow button, and please make sure to share this video. Well, now on to the rest of the 90 Day Fiancé stuff. Okay, couple things. Number one, do y'all remember Josh? I don't even know his last name. Cedar? I don't even know. I never, ever was a fan of this man. He was not on 90 Day Fiancé, but he was dating Yolanda, who was on 90 Day Fiancé, and it was crap and stupid, and he was actually on The Bachelorette years and years ago. Now he's somewhat of an, I don't even know, adult dancer, online, bizarre craziness. The guy seems to be a complete liar. Anyway, him and Yolanda, they went their separate ways. Stupid, ridiculous, fake couple. And anyway, she's been dating like a million other men, and this Josh guy, for some reason, has been trying to stay in the 90 Day Fiancé limelight and, the association with all the people from 90 Day Fiancé, and it's stupid, and it really just goes to show that Josh was using Yolanda this entire time. However, he was sliding into some of the ladies of 90 Day Fiancé's DMs, and finally, a couple of them actually called him out. Now, supposedly, Avery, who was with Avery and Ash, from a season or two ago called him out a while ago. So Josh DM'd Stephanie. Now, do you remember Stephanie? Not Stephanie and Ryan, but Stephanie and Erica. Stephanie, that's Stephanie. He DM'd her and said, I just want to drop in and say hi. I think you are absolutely gorgeous, with a smiley face. And he said, also, we both got our laser removal of our 90-day exes. It's like, you know what, Josh? You freaking pretended to date Yolanda for about 2 seconds. And don't get me wrong, Stephanie did the exact same thing with Erica. But anyway, she called him out on social media on her story and said two things here. Don't slide into multiple cast members' DMs at the same time. Us girls talk. Secondly, if you're a dude from the 90 Day Fiancé franchise, stay out of my DMs. I want nothing to do with you and your dusty bleep of or the show. Heyo, oh my god, wow, she was not happy. So yeah, you know, this Josh guy does not appear to be a nice guy. There have been, I mean, like, the guy's just not a nice guy. That's it. There's been horrible allegations made against him. He's made some really bad, he's just done a lot of bad stuff, so I don't blame her at all. I mean, she could have said a lot of worse things to him, but immediately after, Ashley and Jay, she also called him out too and said, oh my god, he did the same thing to me. I second that. This guy is bizarre, ridiculous, and horrible. And then, of course, because this Josh guy just loves attention, he came out and shared, boom, right there, to kind of share his side of the story and said, I'm someone who naturally seeks friendship and companionship. Being alone, especially during this time, can be taxing. I usually stick to myself, but occasionally I try to make friends with people in similar situations. I didn't realize this made me a bad person, but I'll keep being kind, genuine person that I am. Dude, shut your trap. You are, as far, I have seen videos of this guy saying stuff. You are not, at least the videos I saw, what you were doing in the videos, you were not kind, you were not nice, you were not being genuine, you were being very, you crossed several lines of what he was doing. Not even gonna get into it, but dude, don't you dare act like you're some kind of a kind, I mean, hey, it'd be one thing if he reached out to Stephanie and just said, hey, you know, like, I hope all is well, and it was just really not anything romantic, but he said, hey, you're absolutely gorgeous. Okay, you crossed the line into a romantic field right then and there. If he would have just said, hi, Stephanie, I hope you're doing well during this time, then I could kind of maybe possibly kind of see maybe he's kind of trying to just be a friend, but he called her absolutely gorgeous. He's not trying to be a friend. He wants to be more than a friend, and that is stupid and ridiculous, and the guy is a freaking clown. So I don't blame Stephanie for going out on him, and I don't blame Ashley, and I think it is kind of hilarious that he's DMing all of these women. Aren't there other women in the world that were not on 90 Day Fiancé? Crazy. So comment below what you think of Josh, but oh my god, I think this guy is a complete joke. But anyway, before I sign off for the day, there's one other thing I want to talk about really quick, and that is one of my favorite shows was on last night. Pretty good show. It was on last night, and that is called Married at First Sight. Now, I was going to do a whole separate video on this, but I know the majority of you guys actually watch Married at First Sight, I think and hope, and it's like, we're still kind of in the ground phase for when things are kind of happening, so I didn't want to do a whole video just yet, but I do want to say a couple things that happened last night that kind of caught my attention. Number one, Clara and Ryan, they got married. They are boom, that couple right there, and at first glance, I will say, they are vibing, they are meshing. Ryan has, number one, he has two things. Number one, dude, I hate to be the judgy guy of the whole world, but he needs to shave his head. If he shaved his head and kept the beard, he'd probably look a lot better. Anyway, his hair kind of looks weird, but I'm the last person to talk because look at my hair. But anyway, they're a good-looking couple. They are doing pretty well. I will say Clara seems to be a bit dramatic, and she reminds me of someone you guys might know that never shuts up. She never shuts her mouth, and surprisingly, I thought Ryan was a bit more shy, but no, he like really has a very, what's the word? He's a very good personality. He's not loud, he's not quiet, he's just kind of in the middle. He knows how to hold a conversation, he's polite, and I think he kind of wanted to say a couple more words because Clara would not shut her trap, just like me. And so I saw them talking and she was going, and they pointed the cameras at Ryan and he was just like, oh my god, at least his face, his expression was like, oh my god, this girl will not shut up. But all in all, they were meshing. He finds her attractive. Let me actually say she found him attractive. I think he found her attractive. He definitely seemed interested. I just think the talking thing might have kind of barely somewhat sort of turned him off, but at first glance, they definitely seem to be doing well. We've only seen them get married. The wedding was kind of awkward, but they were joking, going back and forth. The wedding seemed to be pretty fine, pretty good, and that was really all we got to see with them. Then we saw Vincent and Brianna, and I called these two from the start. I was saying for sure these two were going to hit it off, and I thought there might be a possibility of a couple minor issues, but everything I kind of saw, Okay, I was afraid that Brianna might not find Vincent attractive. I'll just say it. I just think the guy's beard's a little chubby or something. He's not a bad-looking guy. Like, he seems to be very... And you know what, other thing, too, is he kind of does seem a little bit quiet. And I was like, God, maybe Brianna will be turned off by that. But honestly, the more I see these two together, it's like, I think they're a match made. She basically thinks the guy's drop-dead gorgeous. He is super into her. They have not really similar personalities, but they mesh well together. I think she's louder, she's more of the boss, and someone even called, like one of his friends called her, "You are the boss," and she loved it. And, you know, Vincent, he's a quieter kind of low-key guy, and he was just like, "Yeah, you're the boss now," and she was like all for it, he was all for it, so I think they're kind of actually compatible, which is surprising for this show, because most of these couples in the show seem to be god-awful. But these two, they seem to be a good match. The thing I was concerned about, though, is Brianna is an engineer, I want to say, and she seems to kind of be a corporate 9-to-5 type, style. She wants to have her job and that kind of thing, but she is a go-getter. She's just more of a corporate 9-to-5 go-getter. Still very, wants to do good and all that kind of stuff. Whereas Vincent seems to be more of an entrepreneur go-getter, and he's not doing the whole 9-to-5 corporate work thing. They're both go-getters, though, but Brianna said that she wanted a go-getter, and I was just like, geez, I don't know if she will consider him a go-getter, because the word entrepreneur can have a million different definitions, and I even know people that say, I'm an entrepreneur, but they sit on their couch all freaking day and they don't do a freaking thing. And I'm not saying at all that Vincent does that, but I'm saying it could have been perceived, maybe, that he was kind of like that, and that he was just saying he's doing this, that, and the other, and maybe he isn't, maybe Brianna would have been turned off by that, but of course, he does seem to be doing things and making money, and I think once she would see that he is making money and actually doing stuff, she probably would be happier. So, but he explained to her what he does, kind of an interesting thing. He's like a, I don't even know. He basically helps people buy cars, which that, to me, I wouldn't probably ever use his service because I'm cheap. But like one of my friends who's older and more eloquent and just, I don't even know, more normal than me, he was like, I'd use that in a heartbeat because I hate buying cars. So I guess there's probably demand for it. Kind of interesting idea. And yeah, so that's what he does. She works as an engineer, more 9-to-5 corporate stuff, and they seem to be hitting it off. Definitely, they're pretty freaking compatible. But we just got to see them get married. They had the ceremony, they were talking, they were flirting. I would like to see him get a little bit more out of his comfort zone, but I will say, I mean, come on, you have to give the guy credit. They just got married, and it's on national TV. You gotta be pretty nervous. So I think, I think they're definitely doing pretty good. There were a couple moments where I was like, geez, is she not feeling him? But then she'd turn around and say, I love this guy, he's great, we're a great catch, we're a great match. So I think all in all, they're doing pretty good. And the thing I will say about her, which is rare for the show, is Brianna's mom was like Miss Positivity. Usually the parents, guy or girl, are just like, oh my God, I don't want anything to do with this, you're making a horrible decision, to their child. But this mom was like, no, this is great for you, this is gonna be amazing. And then Brianna was kind of getting cold feet for like a hot second. And then the mom was like, no, shut up, you're doing fine, keep doing it, you're gonna be great, you're gonna be fine. And I was like, you know what? We need more of that, because most of these parents are freaking disappointed and mad and hate this whole process. Speaking of parents that hate this whole process, we must transition now into Virginia and Eric, because oh my God, if you guys watched last night's episode, you should know what I'm talking about, because we saw this about 300,000 times, and that is Eric's mom was so mad. I mean, I have debatably never seen a parent be this mad on this show. The camera kept panning over to the mom, Eric's mom, and yeah, she was just honestly really upset. You could see in her face, she didn't smile once. I think she's mad about this whole Married at First Sight thing. I think she probably doesn't even want to be on TV. And I think number 3, once she saw Virginia and realized that Virginia was doing a heck of a lot of this before the wedding and after the wedding and during the wedding and everything, I think she was just like, oh my God, who did my son just marry? So yeah, Virginia and Eric, they got married. I was like betting billions and billions and billions of dollars that I clearly do not have, that Virginia and Eric are going to be one of the worst couples to ever be on this show, and it appears possibly that I could possibly be wrong. Eric, he seems to be into her. Virginia, I thought was going to be kind of repulsed by him because he's a nerdier guy. And I'm not saying that's bad or he's ugly. No, I'm just saying he's an older, nerdier kind of a guy. And I was also saying, too, not even with looks, but just with straight up personalities. Eric, he's more of a calm, chill kind of guy, and Virginia likes to party and go out and do that kind of stuff. So I don't even think they're not even a compatible match. But let me say the most unbelievable thing is once they walked down the aisle, they were freaking like arm in arm. They were hitting it off like crazy. Now here's kind of the catch why I'm saying possibly. They are possibly working. The catch is this. We got to see Virginia do a lot of this and a lot of this and a lot of this and a lot of this. What is it called? Oh yeah, Liquid Courage before the wedding. And she was doing a heck of a lot of it. She was probably tipsier-ish at the wedding. Then we went after they got, I mean, she was honestly probably beyond the point of tipsy at the actual wedding. Then after they got married, the only thing I saw was every 2 seconds she was going like this. I don't know if the camera, if the camera crew's just doing it to make her look like that or what, but it was like, oh my God, every single second you turn the camera on her, she's doing this or this or this or this. And the other thing that I noticed too is every single second she was talking about drinking. And let's get a drink, let's go out and do this, let's do this. And her friends go up and give the maid of honor speech and she talks about drinking and it's like, oh my God, does this girl have any other personality traits besides drinking? So I was kind of turned off by that, and I will say Eric, you could see it, he was turned off by that too. At first he was like kind of having fun and laughing with it, but then I think as he kind of caught on, he was like, oh my God, this girl, she drinks a lot. And then we got to see in a preview for the upcoming episode that Virginia talks to one of Eric's friends, and he was like, you know what, honestly, he is not the kind of guy that is ever going to want to go out with you like that. So he seems pretty stuck in his place, she seems pretty stuck in her place too. They seem to kind of hit it off and they were having fun at first, but I mean, it's like long term, do they have the same kind of future goals? I would say no, but I could be totally wrong. So definitely make sure to comment below what y'all think of Eric and Virginia and the rest of the Married at First Sight marriages we got to see. Unfortunately, we did not get to see what's his name and what's her name. I'm completely blanking on. Jake, is it? I think it's Jake. I don't even know. The guy that eats steak and eggs every day. I'll post a picture right there. He is, and she's kind of pretty. I don't even know. We didn't get to see even a blip of them. They were not on the episode at all. They didn't get married in the episode. We did not get to see them before the wedding. We got to see nothing. So they'll be next Wednesday, and then Chris and Paige, the infamous Chris and Paige, we got to see them get ready for the wedding. And I will say one thing. If Paige walks down that aisle and Chris says, oh my God, she's ugly, I'm gonna consider tracking this guy down and like literally doing something, because I would just, oh my God. I mean, I think he'll see her and just say, wow, she's gorgeous, she's beautiful. But this guy has said, if she is ugly, about 300,000 times during this wedding. Like, he keeps on saying it. What if she's ugly? What if she's ugly? And he's like, oh my God, if she's ugly. Then the cameras pan over to Chris's dad, and he's like, if she's not ugly. And I'm like, the dad is saying it too? Like, what the heck? Like, what if she wasn't as physically attractive as they were expecting? Then what are you going to say? Oh my God, she's ugly? Like, what a jerk. That honestly really made me mad, because it's like, you know what? Paige is freaking beautiful. She's not, and the thing is, she might walk down the aisle and Chris might just say she's stunning, she's gorgeous, and I hope to God, because that makes me honestly sick to my stomach for Paige, who is nice and sweet and just a nice lady. I mean, it's like, dude, come on, you can't. Oh, that made me really freaking upset. I was not happy, not cool, not a fan of those comments. So we're gonna have to wait and see what happens. I hope to God she walks down the aisle and he calls her beautiful on her own freaking wedding day. And if he does call her ugly or something, I'm just gonna freaking just about lose it. But anyway, guys, Married at First Sight, 90 Day Fiance, we got a heck of a lot of drama, and it would mean the world to me if you could comment below what y'all are thinking. Well, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button, hit the comments below, hit the subscribe button, and y'all better stay tuned for many more videos.